Yes, sir. We just want to confirm, sir, if former DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral is one of the respondents po sa mga ongoing flood control na undergoing preliminary investigation po dito sa Department of Justice.
Yes, we have one case which is being referred now for the evaluation of the Office of the Ombudsman involving Yusek Cathy Cabral. No? Ito ay ipapadala sa Office of the Ombudsman para kanilang suriin sana. No? Pero I think overtaken by events because of what happened. No? But there is only one case. Kung tinatanong ninyo, may active PI ba na ongoing? Sa ngayon, wala pa po. Magsisimula pa lang po sana yung preliminary investigation as far as the case na kinasasangkutan niya.
Sir, for which project din po ito? And ano po yung complaint na nakikita sana na ifa-files against her?
This is a case for plunder. Okay? This is a case for plunder and involves several proponents as well.
This is not just projects in Bulacan, sir.
I believe these are projects in Bulacan, no? But apart from the fact na yung regular cases na tinatanggap at pini-PI natin sa ngayon, ito yung mga kaso na hindi lamang na lilimita doon sa mga opisyal ng Bulacan District Engineering Office, but ito'y umakyat na, meron tayong ebidensya na nagtuturo din sa mga proponent na nakinabang dito sa mga projects na to.
Opo. Kay Justice Andres po. Sir, how crucial po itong testimony or yung isisiwalat or yung nalalaman po sana nito ni Yusek Cabral? Because there was a statement po by Attorney Hosaka na she's considered as central in the investigation.
Well, we asked her to come to the office last December 15. Kaya lang hindi na siya nag-attend para nagtatago ata. We were hoping to talk to her and tell us what she has done or what she knows. Sana, para confession sana, but hindi siya sumipot sa amin kasi we felt na she can still change and tell us some of the things like sinabi nila Bernardo or Alcantara. Sayang nga, hindi siya nakapunta or maybe she avoided going to us on December 15.
So, sir, ano pong magiging implication nito since, yun nga po, she suddenly died? Kasi ang question po ng tao, so ano yun? Absuelto na lang siya? Ganun-ganun na lang? Wala na bang pagkakataon na yung restitution, for example, yung meron, syempre ngayon may mga ari-arian siya, may possible pa ba yun na mabawi ng gobyerno?
Sa pag-aaral po natin ng batas, alam natin na yung kamatayan ng isang akusado or posibleng akusado extinguishes criminal liability. Pero batid din naman natin na hindi naman ito nag-extinguish dun sa iba pang posibleng yung civil forfeiture, other civil liability. Kaya patuloy pa rin yung paghahabol ng pamahalaan at kailangan lang natin dumaan sa proseso, mapatunayan yung mga ibang posibleng liability. Pero yung criminal liability, talaga sa ilalim ng ating batas at umiinog na mga desisyon ng Supreme Court, extinguish talaga siya. Extinguish siya upon death of the accused or the respondent in this case.
Tulad na binanggit ni Secretary Vida, while criminal liability has been extinguished by her death, no, meron pa rin mga prosesong dinadaanan yan. Kasi right now, if I'm not mistaken, there is an effort to make validation coming from the team of the National Bureau of Investigation working hand in hand with the PNP to validate yung identity and hopefully to ascertain and determine yung possible cause ng kanyang death, if it was attended by any foul play or not. Pero yun, that is as far as yung criminal liability kasi ito'y personal doon sa tao. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na kung wala na yung tao na dinidemanda mo, naturally, wala ka nang pwedeng habulin dahil personal sa kanya yung kaso. However, insofar as yung civil liability, that is something which survives after the death, and that's the reason why we will continue to proceed with possible filing of civil forfeiture cases just to make sure that we're able to get hold of or preserve assets, no, which are under her name.
Sir, last na lang po talaga from my end. PG, ano po yung nakita nating siguro evidence or para po, kasi sabi niyo sir na parang nag-undergo na ng evaluation, so magpa-file na sana ng reklamo against her. Ano po yung mga nakita po natin na malakas na patunay na she is involved?
Well, kinalulungkot ko, no, hindi natin pwedeng banggitin yung nilalaman nung ebidensya na inire-refer ng Department of Justice ngayon sa Ombudsman kasi yan na isusuriin pa. When a case is under evaluation, it is as if no case is existing yet. But after na ma-evaluate ng Office of the Ombudsman yan at yan ay maibalik sa department dahil tayo po ay i-deputize para mag-conduct ng preliminary investigation, dyan po natin maaring ilahad siguro kung ano yung ebidensya na meron laban sa kanya. Pero tandaan din natin, considering that death extinguishes criminal liability, there might not be no other reason also to bring it out, no? Because if at all, titingnan natin kung paano pa natin mapatunayan man natin, wala na yung tao na nasa sakdal.
Sir, first question, sir. May mga assets ba si Yusek Cabral na kasama sa na-issue ng freeze order? Tapos second question, sir, kasi kung restitution, ang basis niya is yung affidavit ng respondent. Pero sa forfeiture, sir, paano yun? May investigation ba to determine kung ano yung mga nakuha niya, kung magkano yung dapat i-forfeit, mga ganun, sir?
Yes, oo. Merong investigasyon. Tulad ng sinabi ko, patuloy ang investigasyon na gagawin kasi hindi lang naman yan sa restitution, no? Or dahil sa pag-a-apply sa programa, kaya natin malalaman kung ano naging involvement nila. May iba't ibang paraan na para alamin yan at yan ay ginagawa kasalukuyan ng ating mga kasamahan sa AMLC. So that is an ongoing investigation which is still going to be undertaken to try to, like I said, preserve itong mga assets na ito na nasa pangalan ni Yusek Cabral.
Sir, AMLC lang yun or kasama rin yung NBI?
Kasama rin po ang NBI sa pagtutukoy nitong mga assets na ito.
Sir, may directive or move po ba yung DOJ to investigate the death of Cabral for possible foul play?
Sa tingin ko, kanina may pahayag na si Secretary John Vic Remulla from the DILG na masusing imbestigahan, no? Kasi pag binasa natin, this is basically a death under suspicious circumstances. May mga proseso naman ang PNP, ang NBI para maugat kung ano yung pinagmulan ng kamatayan ni Yusek Cabral.
And also, we would like to inform everyone that as early as February 20, 2023, then Secretary of Justice Jesus Crispin Remulla already issued Department Circular number 013, which required the mandatory autopsy for victims of suspicious or violent deaths. So, ini-encourage po natin, sabi nga ni Secretary Bida, dahil sa ito ay death under very, suspicious circumstances, it would fall under this category. So, maaari pong i-subject yan para lang malaman natin at matukoy natin kung ano talaga ang naging dahilan ng kanyang pagkamatay.
Justice, yung hindi po pagsipot ni Cabral doon sa hearing, may sinabi po bang dahilan? And may nasay po ba na may threat sa buhay niya?
Actually, we could not find her. Na siya mahanap. Nagtatago eh.
Sa DOJ po, never po nag-approach humingi ng proteksyon si Cabral.
No such information.
Hi, sir. Sir, good afternoon.
No such information.
Victor po pang Bombo Radyo. Kay Secretary of Justice po. Sir, update lang related pa rin sa flood control since up until now yata hindi pa bumabalik si former DPWH Secretary Bunoan. Any update po kung nasa na po si former Secretary?
PG Dong will
Yeah, he was supposed to return to the country last December 17, no? But the information that we received from the Bureau of Immigration is that he has not yet complied with that commitment to return, no? We can check with the Bureau of Immigration as to the location, no, nung kanyang travel before he left kasi kinukuha naman natin yung detalye na yan. And the moment na makuha namin, ipapaalam po namin sa inyo. Yun na nga, ang pagbabatayan po namin ay yung kanyang inireport na location bago siya umalis, no? Yung reported country where he was supposed to be traveling with the wife. If I'm not mistaken, it's in the US, no? Sasamahan niya kasi yung wife niya who was supposed to go and undergo surgery. So, wala pa ho kaming impormasyon sa ngayon kung lumipat ba ito ng bansa o kung nasaan parte siya ng Estados Unidos.
Sir, follow up lang, sir. If ever, sir, na hindi bumalik si former secretary, paano po ba mapipilit ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas na makabalik siya?
tulad po ng ibang yung tinatawag nating akusado o di kaya ay may mga arrest warrant, pag meron na hong kautusang legal ang ating mga korte, doon na hong papasok yun, di ba? Saksi naman tayo, di ba? Pag lumabas yung arrest warrant, may pamamaraan tayo. Pag tinuring siyang fugitive of justice, pwede tayong magpa-cancel ng passport. Marami na tayong ibang pamamaraan para gawin yon. Pero sa ngayon, ayon sa aming pagkakaalam, wala siyang HDO, wala siyang arrest warrant, no?
Yes, para na sa kaalaman ng publiko, itong si former Secretary Manuel Bonoan ay isa sa mga respondents dun sa mga kaso na i-refer ng Department of Justice ngayong araw nito sa Office of the Ombudsman. So sa oras na yan ay ma-evaluate na ng Office of the Ombudsman at maibalik sa Department of Justice at sabihin nilang sapat ang ebidensya para kami magpatuloy na mag-conduct ng preliminary investigation. Magsisimula na po yung proseso ng pag-iimbestiga. Hintayin lang po natin, patapusin na natin yung proseso and then we can address the other concerns concerning how he will be brought back.
Sir, Chief Doc, follow up lang po dun kay Yusek, sa nasirang Yusek Cabral. Yung kung sakaling meron siyang earlier statements, hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin even against other people kasi sa kanya hindi na pwede kamo. And secondly, sige yun muna sir.
Meron din po kasi, di ba sa salagyang batas, may karapatan yung mga akusado to confront yung mga nag-aakusa sa kanila. So kung meron tayong, di ba, kung meron tayong mahuhugot ng mga earlier statement niya, yan ang isang magiging balakid sa ating prosecution. Among others, among others. Kasi tulad nga ng yung mga detalye kasi mahirap din pag-usapan kasi prosecutorial strategy no? Pero ang isa sa pinaka-basic is the right of an accused to confront yung witnesses, di ba? So, yung karapatan na mag-cross-examine, di ba? Yan ang isa sa mga So, yung iba pa, siguro, Chief Dong. Strategy na
Okay, tama yung sinabi ni Secretary Vida, no? Constitutional right o karapatan ng isang akusado na sa ilalim ng ating saligang batas na siya ay magkaroon ng pagkakataon, no, na harapin, no, yung kung sino man na nagrereklamo o tumitistigo laban sa kanya. Ngayon, pag dumaan tayo dun sa proseso, kung ito'y nasa husgado na, yung right to cross-examination is a right which is also given to any accused, which means to say, kung meron siyang sasabihin, no, kung may sasabihin sa kanyang salaysay, at yun ang pagbabasihan natin, pero ito na may hindi mabibigyan ng tinatawag na pagkakataon, yung kabilang panig o yung mga akusado na tanungin siya, no, or questionin siya, mahihirapan tayo doon, no? Bali mababali wala lang yung salaysay na yon kasi the accused, no, is not given the right to the accused cannot be cross-examined anymore, no? Kung siya man ay maging testigo, she can likewise not be cross-examined by the ones that he will spill the beans on.
Sir, follow up so you mentioned under circular that autopsy when it comes to death under circumstances. That ang kaklarify sir that the DOJ and the NBI will defer to the PNP in the meantime but you will be recommending that autopsy be conducted, or as the PNP conducted by itself?
Exact info, no info yun.
Yeah. So far, ang impormasyon po namin is that ang una kasing ang unang responders sa ground are from the PNP. So we received the report coming from the PNP, and immediately the NBI composed a team to also assist in the investigation. Kanina nabanggit nga nila na merong parang hindrance doon sa pag-conduct ng autopsy kasi sinasabi ayaw daw ng pamilya. But then again, I think the interest of the state would also come into play where we are looking into a suspicious death, no? So sinabi namin sa kanila na ang magiging recommendation natin pursuant to the circular issued is that we conduct an autopsy for purposes of ascertaining ano talaga ang naging dahilan ng kanyang pagkamatay, and if meron nga bang sabihin nating foul play na nangyari, no, bago natagpuan yung kanyang bangkay.
In the
Sorry,
interest po of time, I'm
Sir,
sorry.
last habol,
Last three
sir.
questions po, subject to the Secretary's discretion. Pero
Sir,
so,
last na-
in
habol,
orderly
sir.
fashion po, si Ma'am Camille, Ma'am Sandra, susunod po na magtaas ng kamay, siya na po ang huli na makapagtanong.
Sir, dahil po ba namatay po si Yusek Cabral, hindi siya makapagbigay ng kanyang salaysay testimony, will this weaken yung pagpa-file din or pag-implicate ng mga iba pang personalities, especially lawmakers involved? Kasi po ang during the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, ang sinasabi is Cabral is one of in charge dun sa allocables which is given to the lawmakers.
Well, we will have to admit that it's going to be a bit more of a challenge now, no? Considering that she was also subject of an investigation during the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, and I think that was the observation made by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee during that time. Pero ang magiging challenge kasi niyan, kahit na sana pwede nating gamitin yung kanyang mga sagot na ibinigay doon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, ang problema nga niyan is kung paano mo naman may-refute kung halimbawang ikaw ay na-implicate. So, kumbaga, hindi naman siya sasabihin na total loss, but it makes the work a bit more difficult now than it was before kasi you don't have the person who may be a source of information, no, implicating other individuals. So, yun, sa bandang yun. Pero, meron pa din namang ibang tinitingnan na anggulo ang ating mga investigador para alamin kung meron pang ibang pagkukunan ng impormasyon na maaaring gamitin at maging kapalit nung salaysay ni Yusek Cabral.
Ms. Sandra.
Sir, just to follow up on Camille's question, can you give us a description of how important is the role of Yusek Cabral in this web of anomalies? And isingit ko na rin po yung about the visit of the Diskaya couple kanina. Ano po yung status ng case nila? Tax evasion, sabi po ay for ano na daw po to resolution? Kindly give us an update.
Okay. Dun sa unang tanong mo, no, yung extent nun, kung mapaalala ninyo, nung nagkaroon tayo ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing noong November 14, no, hinayaan ang si Yusek Bernardo na maghayag ng mga nilalaman ng kanyang salaysay. At doon lumabas nga na tinukoy niya si Yusek Cabral as among those to whom monies were actually delivered, no? So, ang sinasabi, meron pang ibang nakahayag doon na aside from Yusek Cabral, meron pang ibang tao na tatamaan. Okay? So, sa puntong yon, kung wala na yung tao na yun na inaakusahan mo, di ba? Well, you still have the testimony of Yusek Bernardo, no? That can be utilized, no? But again, it would have helped sana kung makuha din sana natin yung panig ni Yusek Cabral. But since she did not ever cooperate with the ICI, neither did she make any representations to appear before the Department of Justice, we did not have that opportunity. As far as the Diskayas are concerned, yes, we confirm that Ms. Sara Diskaya was here this morning. This was in relation to a tax evasion case na kanyang kinakaharap at yun po ay for the submission ng kanyang rejoinder. Kinakailangan po na siya ay dumating dito kasi panunumpaan niya po yung kanyang rejoinder do sa tax evasion case before the prosecutor. Now, the case is submitted for resolution. You can expect that by next week, we will have the resolution out already.
Okay, so isang katanungan na lang po from the next person who raises his hand. Sir.
Good afternoon po, Pod Chavez from Manila Standard. Justice Reyes po. Justice, earlier po, you called for the the Ombudsman and the ICI called for the preservation po ng mobile phone ni Yusek. The ICI and the Ombudsman called for the preservation po ng mobile phone ni Yusek. But earlier po sa press ko, na-mention din po ni SILG Remulla na nagkaroon daw po ng lapse, yun daw pong authorities na binalik daw po muna doon sa family before. So right now, hindi pa po, kumbaga wala pa po sa atin yung mobile phone ni Yusek Cabral.
If you want to recover, if you're saying that na yung telepono nasa pamilya na, it would take a case to get back the cell phone from the surviving family.
Okay, so with that, we thank everyone for their cooperation. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you.
Sorry, kahapon na lang. But yung NBI is now being asked to do the investigation for that. Tama po.
Under the guidance pa rin ng task force. Para hindi kami na.
Basta for sure po kasama sa investigation ng pagkamatay.
This development, of course, we're exploring it. Sir, tinitingnan natin.
Sir, paano kung tumanggi pa rin pala sir para sa auto? But nevertheless, yun bang usapan sa because of the very bigat na sir.
Of course, interesado tayo. Interesado tayo sa identity. Tanda natin, di ba? May incident na tayo sa security. Di ba? Nakremake, di ba? Yung nangyari, siyempre nakremake, di ba? Interesado tayo. So, interest nito.
Sir, mo talagang nagtatago na sila. Yung isa sa mga pato, talagang nagtatago na sila.
Of course, if this is unfortunate time for the past.